You know, Doctor, as you mentioned India, I couldn't help but think that actually India has great influence in terms of religion to the Chinese people around the world.
That's correct.
In terms of Buddhism, even in Japan as well. So, you know, we have to face the whole teaching of Buddhism.
Right.
Now, in terms of apologetics, and we try to reach the Buddhists with the gospel of Jesus Christ, what can we do? What do you think is the most effective way of reaching these people with this belief?
We have to start asking serious questions then. And the questions we have to ask is, what are these teachers saying? What did Gautama Buddha say? Basically 4 noble truths, okay? The fact of suffering. We suffer. The fact of suffering. The reason for our suffering. And ultimately he goes to how to get rid of the suffering and gave you the 8-fold path. 4 noble truths, 8-fold path. Now, his ultimate conclusion in suffering was, if I cease to desire, then suffering will be eliminated. The problem is not that I suffer, the problem is what I want and what I desire. So if you don't want anything anymore, you will not suffer anymore. That's the way he taught. Now here's the thing. Jesus, by contrast, tells us to desire and to hunger. He says, hunger and thirst after righteousness. He's not taking your desire away. Let me anchor this for you. When I was in Thailand, a woman who was the first ordained Buddhist monk in Thailand, she had a PhD from McMaster University, okay, in Canada. And she went to Sri Lanka to be ordained because Thai Buddhism doesn't ordain women. So I read her story on the front page of the newspaper. I contacted her and went and spent some time with her to talk.
Oh, wow.
So as we were talking, I said to her, so Gautama Buddha desires us to cease to desire. Is that right? He doesn't want us to have desires and suffering will end. She said, that is correct. That's why I am a monk. I want to kill all my desires. So I said to her, but I hear you're married. She said, yes. I said, you have children. She said, yes. I said, do you desire to see them? She said, yes. I said, but you don't see them. She said, actually, I do. I take them to school in the morning and I bring them back from school at the end of the day. I said, but your goal is one day to stop desiring to see them. And her eyes filled with tears. She said, that's right. But then I said to her, who is the best exemplar of this philosophy? She said, the Dalai Lama. I said, then why does the Dalai Lama desire the liberation of Tibet? You know, I said, if desirelessness is the goal,
Right.
the best exemplar of your faith has a strong desire. And she couldn't answer. She said, well, he chooses to, and so on. I said, I have a second question for you. You say in your philosophy in Buddhism that every birth is a rebirth. She said, that is correct. And every birth is a payment for the previous birth. She said, that is correct. I said, if you start from now and go back, you've had a finite number of births. You've not had limitless births, okay?
Right.
You start from now and you go back and count how many, you've had a finite number. You've not had an infinite number of births. She said, that is correct. I said, which means you had a first birth. She said, yes. I said, what were you paying for in your first birth? You know, she was a PhD from McMaster. So she was a philosopher.
Right.
And she said, we don't ask such questions. So here it is. You kill desire, but you see your children in the morning and you see them in the afternoon and your eyes fill with tears because you love them.
Right.
You desire relationships, you honor your family. The greatest desire is for a relationship, Gordon, and that relationship is found with God. And that's when all other desires get secondary status because you will dwell with him in eternity. And you find out you have not lived before, this is your only life. Jesus said, it is appointed unto man once to die, and after that, the judgment. The people in Jesus' day wondered about the reincarnation because they said to him, why is this man suffering? You know, did he sin before or did he sin after? Is he paying for the Jesus? Neither. It had nothing to do with the previous life or the sin of this life, but that the work of God might be displayed. What was the work of God? Jesus gave him back his sight and said, this is the problem. The problem is you are blind inside, and I'm the one who can cause you to see. So I say to the Buddhist, your desires are very explainable, but God is the only one who can take away wrong desires, replace them with right desires, and then tells you that your greatest relationship is met in Him, and that defines all other relationships. That's why we love our children. That's why we love our parents, because God has put that love into our hearts, and that love He uses as metaphors for His love for us and our relationship to Him.